Jesus said to his disciples, "As it was in the days of Noah, so will it be at the coming of the Son of Man. In those days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, up to the day that Noah entered the ark. They did not know until the flood came and carried them away. So will it be at the coming of the Son of Man. 2 men will be in the field. One will be taken, and one will be left. 2 women will be grinding grain at the mill. One will be taken, and one will be left. Therefore, stay awake, for you do not know on which day your Lord will come. Be sure of this: if the master of the house had known the hour at night when the thief was coming, he would have stayed awake, and not let his house be broken into. So too you must also be prepared, for at an hour you do not expect, the Son of Man will come." The Gospel of the Lord. Today is the Gospel reading with a very powerful Gospel coming out of the 24th chapter of Matthew, verses 37 to 44. And in this Gospel, Jesus is telling his disciples how to prepare for his passion and his death, and ultimately his resurrection, how to prepare for life without him. But in an even greater sense, he was telling them and all of us how to prepare for his second coming. We all know Christ came for the first time at Christmas. And obviously we're getting ready for Christmas. We've just entered the new liturgical season of Advent. Today is the first Sunday of Advent, the first Sunday of a new church year, and when we're preparing for Christ's first coming at Christmas. And then in an even greater sense, we're preparing for his second coming at the end of time. And that's what Jesus is telling his disciples how to prepare for, as well as ultimately all of us in today's Gospel reading. And the second coming is referred to as the parousia. And we do not know when that will occur. We do not know when to expect Jesus, how to expect Jesus, or anything about his second coming. Just that it will happen at the end of time. And so just like in today's Gospel reading, Jesus gives us great analogies as he relates it back to the flood and the days of Noah, when the people did not know when the flood was coming. Yet it came and swept them all away. So must we too be prepared for Christ's second coming at the end of time. Jesus also gave the great analogies of the women grinding grain at the mill, or the men out working in the fields. One was taken and one was left, because the one did not know how to prepare and when to be ready. And would you rather be that person who was left because you weren't ready and you weren't prepared? Or would you like to go with Jesus and to be taken up to heaven with him because you were ready and you were prepared for his second coming? And finally, in the Gospel reading, full of analogies, full of great similes and symbolism from Jesus, we hear about the man who is going to have his house broken into, and how he would stay awake if he knew when the thief was coming, so that his house would not be broken into. How very true that is in our own lives, obviously with our personal belongings and our physical beings, with our houses, with our cell phones, with everything that we own, all the materialistic parts of our lives. Would we just carelessly let it be stolen from us? Or if we knew, if we had great knowledge of when that was coming, wouldn't we be vigilant? And wouldn't we watch that a little more closely and not sleep, not snooze, and let it be taken from us? That's very true in our own faith lives. If someone was coming to steal your faith life, would you just sleep through that and let it happen? And if you know about it, or would you stay awake and stand up for your faith life and not let it be taken from you? The same thing for Jesus, who wants to enter our faith lives. And he will, at the second coming, he will come to take us. Would we sleep through that? Or would we stand ready to welcome Jesus into our faith life so that he can come and be united with us? It's a choice that we have to make. Do we sleep or do we stay awake? And that's ultimately what Jesus is telling us about his second coming, is to stay awake and be ready. For you do not know when I will come again. And it is up to the strong and those who stay awake and those who are ready, those who are prepared. They will come with me to heaven. As we get ready for this season of Christmas, we all know what Christmas entails. All the baking, the gift buying, the gift wrapping, putting up the tree, putting up the decorations, putting on the ornaments, decking the halls, whatever Christmas entails for us. We always have this preparation. It's time to do all that stuff, to buy everything, to make everything. Do we have the same thing in our faith life? Obviously, Jesus' first coming is at Christmas. And the season of Advent is supposed to serve as a wake-up call for all of us. It's supposed to be a time when we open our minds and our hearts, and in our own faith lives, that we have to reassess ourselves, maybe make some changes, maybe tidy up a few spots, clear away some cobwebs, maybe bake some cookies for Jesus, whatever we have to do on a spiritual level to ready our hearts and our minds for Christ's coming at Christmas. We need to do that during the season of Advent, but not only to prepare our hearts and our minds and our beings for his coming at Christmas, but also for the parousia. When he comes at the end of time, this Advent is supposed to be a wake-up call for each and every one of us to live day in and day out how Jesus would want us to live. And that is to be vigilant and to be ready for his second coming at the end of time. We also know that this great time, Christmas, so we're now into the holiday spirit. It's December. We need to always buy gifts, wrap gifts, whatever we have to do to get ready for Christmas. And gift buying, one of the greatest parts of Christmas. But Ralph Waldo Emerson may have said it the best. He was a great poet, great writer, and he said, "The greatest gift you can give is a portion of yourself." Ralph Waldo Emerson had it down pat. He understood the meaning of a 24th chapter of Matthew, verses 37 to 44. How do we prepare for Christ's second coming? How do we prepare for the busyness and the stress and the anxiety and the craziness of a holiday season? We have to give up ourselves. We have to be selfless. Even when we're caught up in this busyness, in this craziness of this holiday season, we need to offer ourselves to someone in need. We need to offer ourselves to our family members, to our friends, to those less fortunate than we are. We need to do a simple act of kindness every day. We need to go out of our comfort zone to help someone else. We also need to realize that we are not the center of the universe. We need to realize that we need to give up ourselves to help others during this holiday season. Whether that be giving up your time and your talent, or maybe giving small donations to a charity. Whatever that may entail in your life. Even if it means spending more time with your family, spending more time with your friends. We need to do something to give up ourselves so that at the Christmas season, we will really understand what it means to be selfless and to be ready to welcome Jesus into our lives in such a selfless way. And also to be ready to welcome him into our lives in a selfless way at the second coming, at the parousia. So the greatest gift you can give this holiday season is presents. And that's not presents with a T. The stuff you wrap, the stuff you buy, the stuff that you give in gift exchanges. That's all fun. That's great to give. But the greatest gift you can give this holiday season is the gift of your presence. You're being there for someone else. You're giving up your time, your talent, your treasure to someone else. Ralph Waldo Emerson said it the best when summing up this Advent season, this Christmas season. Let this be the motto of your Advent. the greatest gift you can give is a portion of thyself.